Naši producent Slavko, dobrodošli v Lent.
Lent. Hvala, hvala. Tudi vi dobrodošli v Lent.
Hej, ljudje, kje ste vi? Letos praznujemo festival, let, veliko stvari se dogaja. Kako ste kaj delali, dajmo najprej da vidim, velik aplavz, da vidim, kako smo na toj. In Slovenia, the scene is so different every time, so every show is a little bit different. Yesterday I was doing a show where the president of Slovenia was in the audience. Yeah. So it's a different show where I'm more, politically correct and I'm more just firm and everything. And then a day before I did a show, I don't know, a wedding. Yeah. So where everything is different. So every show is so different that you can't really have a routine. So like a routine. In stand-up they always say stand-up routine. So where you always do the same thing.
I think it was a good show. Considering circumstances that we perform in Slovenia, where people do not understand our language that well, it's not like 30 years ago when they were a part of Yugoslavia. Now, I guess the older people just died off, and so we're left with just a couple of people understanding our language. So we're hoping the rest of the people in Slovenia will die and will conquer the land and come perform. Maribor is nice.
That went south too fast. How did you start with comedy, and since when you do comedy?
Well, I'm 28 now. I started when I was 21, and I think it's the same as most comedians. You watch stand-up, you fall in love with it, then there's an opportunity to go on stage, like open mics, and it happened that I was writing scribbles for a few years before that opportunity, so I was ready for my first show. And I didn't want to miss the opportunity to express myself because I always had that ambition. And when it came, I seized it. It was back in 2015. Yeah, so there was like a group of 12, 15 of us that stuck together for the first 2 years, and with shows and experience, the four of us became like a group, like a band, and we toured the country and region now together.
My name is Tomislav Primorac, part of Splitska scena, which means the scene from Split. So my name is Tomislav. It's like a Croatian, first Croatian king, which is I really like this name. My last name says actually by the sea, so it's only appropriate that I live by the sea. I actually come from Herzegovina, which is not by the sea, and then obviously when we realized what our name means, we had to move to Split to live by the sea and to start the comedy scene.
How did you feel about the show today?
The show was, for example, I'm not completely satisfied 100% because I changed my set because the part about me working in Slovenia was supposed to go in the middle. And I decided, I should do it in the beginning so I can get the crowd to love me. But they got me. They knew I was full of bullshit. So I started that, so they didn't laugh at the joke that I wanted, so I was just a little bit kind of nervous. So I was like, then I got them in the end, but beginning was not so good as I thought it would be. But that's life, that's comedy, I had to try. I was like wondering, should I try this? But I tried and I didn't fail completely, but I just didn't go as I wanted it to be. But it's fine, that's stand-up, that's like life, it's fine.
Since you're the interviewer professionally and I'm just a intruder to the profession.
No, I disagree. We are both documentarists. We document the happening each in our own way. I write, you do videos, and my interviews, I don't publish them, I just twist them, twist their words, take things out of context, and then write my review.
I was actually quite anxious at the beginning. There was not really a big crowd, and I was very much focusing on the first joke to be something kind of strong, to get a feeling, are they alive, in the audience, will they respond? And when they did, I was like, Bitches, it's working.
That's the official move of the Lent festival.
Oh, I had a lot of fun. Especially, you know, in the beginning they were telling us how there's no people gonna come and it's Sunday and there's not gonna be any people. For that, we had a pretty packed audience who were like active and great, so I've had a great time.
You taught us a lot about fucking today. I mean, it's a lot of fucking information nobody knew about fucking. Thank you for that. And I would like to ask you, how satisfied are you with the show?
I really enjoyed it. I think the audience was absolutely lovely. So it's my how do you say, I popped my cherry performing in Slovenia. So it was the first time and I really absolutely loved it.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you, and thanks for coming out on the hottest day of the year for the hottest roast at Lent Festival.
Do your balls hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow? Can you throw them on your shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your balls?
That was your first time doing stand-up?
Actually, I was doing it a few times before. It was my third time, but I was the guy who brought this particular group together so that we could share the experience with some others for the first time. And even Philip, even Marcus told me with some of these great sport adrenaline junkie attacks, there's nothing like this. Your heart's pounding and you're so nervous beforehand. It's definitely a different kind of high.
Dol, usmeri niže, še niže, tu mi usmeri. Zdaj pa malo, ja, tak tu usmeri. Žune manjše rasti.
So just let's kneel. I told you, just kneel down on the camera. See where your head is. Pine tree. Yeah.
Well, I'm more like a little cactus, but.
Well, you know, small is beautiful as well, man. No problem at all.
I'm a bush. I don't qualify as a tree.
Well, you know, there is one religious story where bush is very important. You know, it was on fire and it was talking. So bushes are extremely important, man.
I like this guy. I mean,
no, I like you. I like you even more because in the world you need small and big things. You need burning and non-burning things. You need fire and you need water. And this was today's show was all about that. We don't accept outsider things, you know, because we think they will destroy us, they will eat us alive, but it's vice versa. We are enriched by difference. So you being extremely small, cactus, as you put it so eloquently, bush, as a matter of fact, and me being tall, we are a beautiful landscape, you know? Look,
a forest.
Exactly, there's a forest, it's me. Oh, a lot of bushes, yeah. A lot of desert, yeah, you know? Together, we create this harmony of life, so we must embrace things that are foreign to us. We must think about things that we don't know. We must not be afraid of them, and this is what Outsider show was all about.
Hvala lepa, ja vzela časopis Pobuda po mojem možu poprišel iz službe, te dam denar. Ok, pa mi smo bili veseli, pa smo šli popodati, jaz smo trkali, je dala časopis nazaj, rekla, moj može ni prišel. Ona je prebrala stari časopis in nas dala nazaj.
Tava, you were killing it, and I just heard from Bor that this was your first time.
Yes.
Bro.
Thank you. Yes, it was my first time, and I'm very positive guy, and when I went up, I didn't say nothing. The people already started to laugh. For me, was the signal that today will be a very great day for us.
Škandala, oni se povežejo v tako pizdarjo, začne to laufati, vse, dred, razumeš, jaz nisem imel kontrole na mene, jaz sem imel pune roke brušenih materijalov. Kaj naj naredim? Mene je sram, tako očeti naj naredim, sem jaz zdaj gledal. Kaj naj radim, da še mi centri za socialne preje, Samo daj mi že bilo hudo, razumeš, ne?
Mr. Philip, welcome to Lent Festival. I would like to ask you, how are you satisfied with the show today? It's your first time doing stand-up, and you are doing great. I would like to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, to be that honest, I was a little bit nervous. You know, me as a professional athlete, I used to deal with a lot of pre-competition stress, and this was something completely else, you know. And of course, as an athlete, you know, you always aim for really high scores. You know, you're not satisfied with average, and that's why I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. But on the end I think it was great, you know. So I can't be happier, you know. But it's been a great relief when I finished. I was like, yeah, it was good.
Kaj niti ni veliko za 48 starih človek? Koliko je pa star? Ne vem pa, koliko je star. Nisem se petkrat dobri, petkrat mi je resno štipro povedal. Me je zajebano, fucking mladost.
It is your first time doing stand-up, right?
Yeah, I usually rap my own lyrics. I have this like in the back of my head, but this time it was some kind of scenario that we have to stick to it. It's hard. I know that the stand-up comedy is a special thing that you have to be really pro at it, but we kind of wrote down our scripts and just be ourselves. So I think people get it, and it was a positive vibe from the people, and that is all what it counts.
Did 16 days?
Yeah.
So like double this month? What?
Yeah, Lent used to be 16 days, but then slowly funding eroded, sponsors stopped coming up as much, so they had to cut it short.
I tried to play guitar, but having guitar on the stage, it's always it's always funny because you're supposed to know how to play it. With the ukulele, you can make it funny even if you don't know how to play it. So it's like cheating for me.
This guy have spoken out the truth about all ukulele players.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I thought about them.
Yeah, that's why. Because if you play guitar with 6 strings, you're supposed to do something with 6 strings. But I played the bass when I was younger, and I learned there. Less strings, less knowledge, and that's it.
In general, we are 2 guys performing, me and Urush, and I'm father 1 year, and he's father already 7 and 9-year-old kids, and we are on a little bit arguing who's got more problems. Are you have more problems with little kids like 1 year old, or with 7, 8, 9 years old? So this is the big dilemma, and we are sharing the stories of every day living with the child. So
I'm a stand-up comedian. I've been doing that for 17 years. I started the scene in Croatia, and I opened the first comedy club in Croatia. In Zagreb. Everything that was supposed to be done first regarding stand-up in Croatia, I've done it. Yeah, I was the first stand-up comedian. It was 5 of us actually, but I was the only girl. And I'm extremely happy that 17 years later there are a lot of female comedians on the scene in the Balkans.
I'm a perfectionist. Not in stand-up. I mean, if you understood my jokes, you'd see I'm not a perfectionist. I leave some of the jokes open-ended, like ... But I am very critical of my performances. So it was like a solid 7.5 out of 10. I mean, the whole thing in general, it could have been better. But maybe it was just the heat.
She's the audio engineer of this whole venue. These are the people behind the scene that makes everything possible, but yet never get credit for it. How do you feel about that?
I don't care actually. I just care about the sound and sound checks being okay and people enjoying the shows. So that's my job and that's what I care about.
It was a mixed crowd, a very weird crowd, because it's Vinko Šimek has this older crowd and some of the younger people came, so it was a bit of a hill to climb, but it was okay. Every Lent crowd is pretty nice.
I know you from a movie where we were beaten up because I'm a refugee and you defended me and they were fucking rednecks, right?
Yep, they were rednecks and me and my big muscles stopped them from absolutely nothing. They just beat us both up, so...
They beat him first and they beat me second. I don't know who went first. Anyway, how satisfied are you with the show today?
Yeah, I'm quite satisfied. I mean, it went well and I forgot the last song and I improvised half of it, so I think it was awesome.
So you just turned stand-up into an improv and it kind of worked?
Yeah, we mixed things up and spiced it up a little bit.
O Marijana, slatka mala Marijana, tebe ću čekat ja, dok svane dan. O Marijana, slatka mala Marijana,
How do you feel about that there's only one day left till the end of Lent Festival?
Well, there's actually 1.5, so I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, my sleep is slowly eroding, so I need to catch up anyway, so I'm happy about that. But in the same tone, I'm sad that it's gonna be over because there's some adrenaline in the fact of doing things, of doing the entire event and setting things up. You know, having people be there, seeing people enjoy themselves, and just the whole big shebang.
It was interesting, good, I'm satisfied. 10 years ago I shitted myself on the stage and it was still smelling, but I think I did a good job now. It was good. The audience was really responsive and I like it.
That's nice.
Very nice experience for me. I'm sorry, I'm very thankful for Slavko invited me once again so I can do hopefully a good job.
So this is your second time on Lent?
Yes, that's it.
And in Maribor in general?
And in Maribor in general. No, third time in Maribor. I did some shows in another place.
Is it your first time performing in Lent?
No, it's second time I was here with my colleagues Marko Djanović and Igor Drljo. One is Bosnian, another is from Herzegovina, Herzegovac. So basically whole country came and me, I'm Slavonac. I'm, you know, when you're doing comedy, you realize by the time, if you're always working, by the time passing, you realize, oh, that time when I thought I was great, I was shit. And then you think, now I'm great, but in 10 years I'll probably be, you know, that time when I thought I was great, I was shit.
I never reached that moment, so... Prazno je, ne?
Aleluja. Veš, če sem iskren, imam dvorane najrajši, ko so prazne. Gledališke, odre, ko ni nikogar, samo jaz, pa dvorana, to obožujem.
What are your plans for next year?
Da delam čim manj. Ja, to je moj iskren odgovor. Torej, že letos si lahko videl Davida, ki je pomagal pri organizaciji in trudim se vsako leto delati manj, ker tako kot je Srdžan Jovanovič že davno ugotovil, vse manj sem kulturni producent, vse bolj sem agroproducent. Nekako veš, poklic producenta za tiste, ki ne vejo, drugi najbolj stresen poklic na svetu. Pa da bi to razumeli, mogoče prvi najbolj stresen, kar sem jaz to slišal, je vodja kontrolnega stolpa na letališču. Veš, vsa letala ves čas v zraku, nikoli ne veš, kak bo, tak je pri meni. Oziroma tak je v produkciji na področju kulture, nič ni garantirano in fenomenalno je, ko nehaš biti pod tem stresom.